All right, we ready to go? Okay, so we're gonna talk about the Belmont today, how to set it up, the appropriate fluids, and then maybe some complications that you can fix as we go through. So the Belmont system is a rapid infuser. It pushes a lot of fluids very fast, right? So we're gonna start by going over the different components of the Belmont. So this machine, it needs to be plugged in at all times. It will run on battery, but it will not heat if the battery is not charged. So you'll be pushing cold fluids to your patient, okay? So it needs to be plugged in at all times. So in the back of the machine here, you'll notice there's a little switch. This is how you're gonna start the machine up, right? So once it's started, you'll see the screen here. You're not gonna be able to see it, but. So this is the compartment where we're gonna put the tubing, right?
Just take a picture of the screen.
So in this compartment here, there's a little latch. It's gonna open up, right? This is where we're gonna put our tubing, and this is the mechanism that's actually heating the coils and warming up your fluids for your patient, right? So first I'm gonna start off by getting plasma light or sodium chloride, right? We're not gonna put lactated ringers through the rapid infuser. So put my plasma light up here. Secondly, I'm going to grab my bucket, right? This is the container where we're going to put lots of fluids, our different red blood cell products, and our different plasma products, right? So we'll open up this container. It's in a sterile package. If the package is open, that means that it's no longer sterile, right? Obviously, as we're doing this, we're going to be wearing PPE. This is just a demonstration. So I'm going to take out my reservoir, my bucket. I'm going to place the reservoir or bucket into this holder here. There's other components to this. It comes with 3 lines here. So we're going to take off these black caps. We're going to connect these, and it doesn't matter which port you connect these to. Secondly, we have our tubing, right, which is going to go to the patient. I didn't have it in the packaging, but normally it comes in a package that you have to open. But this was already open and I didn't want to waste, so. So if you look here, you'll see different color coding. It's how you're gonna follow the tubing. And you'll see the different size tubing here, right? So this indicates to put the larger tubing here. This indicates to put the smaller tubing here, right? So you're gonna take your tubing here, always arrow facing out, red arrow, and insert it like this. It's gonna fit in there snug. It won't fit the other way. Then I'm gonna start with my red tubing with the red line, and follow it, the diagram, right? I'm gonna insert my little bubble trap here, make sure that it's pushed in. And if you start the machine up before you set the tubing, this little clamp is gonna be closed, so we gotta turn it off. And you're just gonna follow the tubing with the diagram here. You notice this little cassette here has an arrow pointing in. You're gonna insert it into here, make sure it clicks in. All right, once you have that done, you're gonna close your door here and make sure that it latches. Once it's latched, you know that it's secure. So as we're coming up here, we're gonna wanna attach the patient tubing to the bucket, right? The reservoir. There's a cap that comes off of both. You're just gonna attach until it clicks. And this is just a little lure lock. You might need to move your reservoir down. Now that I have this all set up, I can turn on machine. I can connect one of these to my fluids. And then I typically just let it fill up about 200 cc's of fluid so that we can prime the tubing. Once you have this all set up and you do have about 200 cc's in here, you can start priming. There's a button on the screen here that says prime.
What do you mean by prime?
So priming is pushing all the air out of the line. So you're gonna make sure that we're not causing an air embolism, right? So now I'm priming, it's gonna prime for me and it's gonna let me know once the tubing's primed. So it's telling me there's 17 mLs to go and it'll stop when it's primed. So now that the reservoir is primed, we gotta prime the patient tubing as well. So this one, you have to stop once it's done primed. Right? So it's gonna keep priming until all the air is out of the line. And this you have to do visually. So I don't expect you to remember all this, but the technicians will be here to assist you. So
And they will have the video.
you'll have the video as well. So you see all the air is out of line. I'm going to come back to the screen here. I'm going to say stop, right? Now this is ready to go for your patient, and then you'll talk to your anesthesiologist or the CRNA about the settings, how much you should be infusing. Okay?